A lot of Europeans doubt that there is enough space for Chinese civil society to flourish, and I think it's a legitimate point of view. At the same time, we know that there are reformers who want to give Chinese citizens more voice in public policy making and implementation. So by sharing European experiences through dialogue and cooperation, we can actively support Chinese civil society organizations.
Seven organizations from Europe and China have embarked on a journey of collaboration. They will implement 8 dialogues, 2 international conferences, and 16 participatory public policy initiatives.
In recent years, the topic of environmental health has attracted more and more attention. The quality of water has also been a hot issue. However, according to the latest environmental assessment of China in 2010 by China Daily, about 40% major rivers in China are polluted. The water quality was tested as bad or extremely bad in more than 100 investigated cities. In the second EU-China Civil Society Dialogue, water pollution also became a hot topic. Participants of this conference told us their opinions.
There are several types of pollution. Pollution from industries, which are usually chemical pollutions. When we drink the water that is polluted with chemicals from these industries, it will affect our health in terms of brain's development. It is lead poisoning, cancer-causing agents, etc. However, there's also organic pollution, meaning that it could be a parasite, which is discharged maybe from farming areas, from the animals, discharged into the water, and if we drink that, then the parasites will actually attach to our liver and it will affect our liver function. In terms of very specific water polluted areas or examples, of course the very famous one is the Taihu Lake. As I mentioned in my presentation, the Songjiang River in Harbin, a very, very famous incident as well. And more recently, the Tianjiang River in Fujian province. Looking at how polluted water actually affect human health in terms of consumption of water supplies and the fish that is being cultivated in this water.
From what I've seen is the issues of water pollution here are completely different to my country. Here it seems that water is part of your lives much more, that you're much more aware of it, but that the main concerns are about infectious diseases, in other words transmissions of bacteria in the water. And what I've seen is the big effluent, the human excrement, what we call shit, just goes into the water systems here.
There are regulations from the Ministry of Environmental Protection, but the problem is to implement them, and so there is no rigid control mechanism to control the waste dumping in the water. So also the examples, the case studies we listened to today, they just show that the companies always try to hide the waste and don't invest money in cleaning the water or finding another solution for the waste dumping. Since 2003, since this environmental impact assessment law, we see some change in policies, but still it lacks kind of institutional implementation power to change the situation.
I think the Chinese government is trying their best to do, trying to protect the water and the environment. As I mentioned earlier, the laws can be very, very good. But however, it's the enforcement that is not enough. it's very difficult for the central government to enforce what is happening in the provinces. So what we need is that there need to be a very strong local government, local enforcers. Okay, it doesn't have to be government, it could be citizens, it could be NGOs, it could be CSOs, okay, to help the government, to give the government an extra set of eyes and ears to monitor the situation. Okay. The government is doing a lot, as I mentioned. Of course, the regulations can be improved in terms of fines for industries who are polluting the water. However, I think ultimately we not only need the government, we not only need the industry, but we also need the public, the CSO, NGOs, and everyone to play a part in terms of helping us to monitor the water pollution.
Yeah, one of the reasons water is an interesting issue for looking at regional cooperation is that water is transboundary. It cuts across provincial boundaries, it cuts across the boundary between city and local community, it cuts boundaries across countries, and this is a very important way of trying to promote common problem solving, that people work together to find out what are the sources of the pollution and how to solve them. So it can be a way of actually solving pollution problems and promoting environmental cooperation.
The water pollution is influencing many areas in China, but we still have chances to make change. Solutions have been brought up by Chinese NGOs and academics. The problem is, how can we carry them out? On this issue, China still have a long way to go.